Okay, for EIA Thursday here, basically we came in a couple feet under, not much take on it. Like I mentioned before, I'd be interested in splashing some longs on the screen, though I had mentioned before I'm going out to like March and April and February. Okay, just due to the fact that if the weather's going to hit, it'll be later in the season. You know, November seems okay. It was a little windy here, but whatever. I don't know. I'm in the middle of a desert. You know, it's not like at home. So I figure everything that's in here is in here. All the weather reports, everything. I'm looking for footsteps. They have been beat up pretty good here. What are we at? We're upper. Okay, let's see if we can change this around. NG. Take a look at, I think this is working. Okay, these are the contract prices. Okay, obviously there's some that haven't traded yet, and then these are settled prices. Okay, but you can see just the front month it's the only one green right now. Okay, it's still, it's been beat up pretty good. You can do the spreads on this. Let's see here. Here are options. Let's just take a look here. 295. That's under 3. We'll just splash one on the screen. Okay, and that's a little high. This one I was looking at. This one, 285 for February. I'm just splashing these on the screen, and we can look at them later. Now it seems like a good time to look at them, right? So let's do it this way. What am I looking for here? No. I'm looking for the world famous option on here. I thought I could do option contracts. There we go. All right, so here's the option. Okay. Okay, and this is ticks, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see if there's daily. Nothing. Okay. All right, so this is far out. I guess I didn't look real quick to see what they had for open interest in that. All right, 0 on the calls. Okay. So there's really, okay. So the option play isn't as strong as I thought, which is, of course, interesting, right? Okay, so they did buy some calls here, but they're not as eager to buy further out. You know, so I guess the flip side of the story here is you could take a look at I splashed one on here and have that there. Okay, so what happens? Trying to buy one, sell one here. Okay, this would be a covered ride. We'll look at that. See how these all play out for February. I believe I'm long of futures down here. Just splash stuff off. February 85 days. February 84 days for the options. Okay, so we're looking at a covered right here. So we're at under 3. Okay, so it's just a reference, under 3. And then, what was it here to sell? 290. Okay, so that's 9 cents in the money, so it's 20 cents. It's okay. So covered rate, the profit is around $2,000. Actually, no, because we're underneath. Yeah, I took out the in the money on there. Okay. This is basically deep in the money. So, or I shouldn't say deep in the money. It's in the money. So if it should continue to fall, that'll help out your long position here. Okay, that's basically, I bought 2 here and then just sold 1 here. Basically, all I'm doing is looking to see how this all plays out over this time period for future reference. You know, like I mentioned, natty gas, you know, a normal winter, okay, whatever. But you're even, you know, you have, say there's a whole bunch of selling that goes on, and then, you know, January, February rolls around, you get a hard short covering rally. Okay, so I'm trying to nibble again on the long side, but try to get out as far as possible because of how much pullback that we've had so far. There may not be much more to go because the prices, people are kind of eager to buy, because I mean we slid all the way down to here. So here's 270. So to me, you have to kind of bite on it. You do have some sort of a reversal bar here on a daily. We're back into the sideways channel. Weekly, let's take a look here. All right, so we got up to here, and I talked about an inverted head and shoulders. You know, it's a little bit deeper than I'd like. We're down into this area here. Need to set an alarm here. 289 in December. Because it's one of those things. Silver got up to $8 and slid all the way back down to $5. Let's see if we cut that in 3.5. So 9, this is 6. So third. So that would be about right. So basically slide from 3 down to 2. Okay. So, you know, here's where we're at. All right. Okay. And you have, you know, percentage wise, you're within the low here. This would be an awesome area to get here. We talked about like 280, 262, whatever. We did hit a support level here and bounced off of it. And the next support level does line up with the median linear regression. I'd be a little more aggressive down there. You know, in theory, it's the whole thing. You can wait until it clears this area. But also remember that this may be, if the winner doesn't develop, this may be a larger sideways pattern. And then you could see think of the whole summer as nothing goes on in natty gas. Large period of sideways. This is a weekly, okay? So basically natty gas came down, retested it, tried to break out, failed. In theory, what happens usually come back the other way. I treat this more of the sideways, okay? In the beefy part of the channel, you know, we dipped below it. So I'm a little more, you know, we cleaned out all the longs kind of thing. I'd be interested, you know, how many more people are left to sell? The only people that would be selling now would be producers trying to hedge. But I'm just, it's one of those things, you know, like here's a level to buy, here's a level to buy, here's a level to buy. It's kind of like with the options thing, with the puts. I guess you could look at those too. Here's 3. Okay, so that's in the money. And if it falls, okay, so your break-even point, we'll just round it up to 30 cents, would be 270. So that's close to 260. Let's see if it takes it here. Okay, it took it. All right, so short 3 for February on the put side. Go back to the charts. Where are my charts here? Sun's in my face. Okay, so here's the charts, and that was February. I guess I could go this way too, couldn't you, Kev? Hey, what do you know? February. Okay. Okay, so here's the money flow. Here's the median line. We're here. Here's a bulgy area. What I say, 30 cents it'd be down to here, and here's a green support line. Okay. So what I did was I shorted a $3 call. Okay. So I'd be willing to buy at $3. It's 30 cents, so I get 30 cents worth of premium. So I have 30 cents worth of buffer. This is interesting here with the money flow. We had this is a momentum type low, okay? It came back up. So I assume then that we're going to get some buying here. It's at about 303, 304. Whoops, oh yeah, bonkers. Come on, you. All right. What did I say, 303? It's 309. Let's start putting in some targets. If it turns here. I should close that blind. All right, so here is a pivot area for the bulls to recapture off the moving. I think we'll probably get up to the 10 area here, just by looking at the money flow on the 4-hour here. The next level is down here, which is fine. I should actually mark that. What was that? Okay. Set alerts below. And we'll do 7. Okay, I need to take a look at my stuff over here. Close profitable trades. All right. Okay, so what am I looking at? Mexican. Okay, sorry about that. I can look at my stuff here. Working on the top of the hour. So that sets up hourly bars and stuff. So, okay. All right. We'll treat this just with the money flow. That this would, to me, it'd be sideways to up. So any new low, I'd be interested in, taking a look again. We'll say naked puts. Whoops. Wrong way, Kev. Yeah. Close the window, Kev. Close the blinds. We'll do 1. What was I looking at? This is on the downside. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is natty gas. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to reestablish longs. Okay, and different ways. I buy one, sell some options. Buy some options, sell a put. So we have. What I'm going to do is just kind of like we did with like with most of the other, trying to look for an opportunity. I'm bullish natural gas. I like it. It's still at multi-years lows kind of thing. We had a hard sell-off. This may be the only opportunity for me, per se, for deferred contracts. If I'm wrong and we get a nasty winner, well, then I'm in, right? And so that's a cognitive dissonance thing, too. Kind of like... the ES. I looked at, okay, so what I did here on the ES is 2020 was the support level. Okay, so we broke it. So what I was looking for with the money flow, okay, right, yeah, okay, with the money flow, I was looking for a hard short covering rally. You see, kind of like this one here. Okay, is this a 2-day pattern? Why didn't I do, I haven't done 2-day charts for a while. Daily, 6 months puts us back. Okay, so here's, okay. Let me get rid of you guys. This is fine. Okay. All right, so here we have, these are 2-day bars. Okay, so here's the money flow. We have it's one of the few signs here. Okay, money flow was stronger, but prices only got this high. So they tried as much as they could with their onesies and twosies to get it higher, and they couldn't do it. This was a nice, good reversal bar here. They call it a dragonfly. Here, trades higher, closes lower, lots of money flow, a lot of hope on that day. Follow through the downside, sideways, 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 swoon, and then it's sideways, 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 swoon. But what I'm looking for is, how it came down here and found a large range bar, same thing. And then this was the top of the bar, which also coincided with the fat area of the point of control here. So you have, it came up here. So this was a decent shorting area. Yeah, we're shorting. Okay, so, and then we had the sideways pattern. Okay, dropped again, sideways pattern, dropped again, sideways pattern. So I'm looking for some sort of movement. Okay, 20 would be a little bit tough. Here's 16. But that's one of those, I've had it between, everyone's had it before. Just say like the Mexican peso here. If I had a short at 1952 and 10, and it comes screaming back, and all of a sudden you're like, ah, and you're what is it? Your stop is, sandwich and soup and sandwich in the money. It's one of those where you have $2,000 and then you settle for $20, that kind of deal. Okay. So the same principle. So what I'm looking for then is a hard short cover and rally. Okay, after the swoon, you get this one was this was the straw here on the bulls. This didn't work out at all. The Nasdaq, of course, ran on, but held it for a whopping day and then rolled right over. So I'm looking for some sort of move up here too. 2020 is, if you have a 2020 short, just hold on to it. It was kind of like oil at 50.50. You know, I wrote it broke $50, traded lower, I think to 63. Then came back and closed at 50.50 with I think it was Tuesday with the big reviews, 50.50, and I call it short covering. That's basically short covering. So if you're looking at buying VIX related options and stuff, you're looking for a hard short cover and rally, and then near the close, then you put them on. Okay. What I usually do is I put them about weight to see if there's a higher open, and then add then. It's Thursday, Friday, right? So maybe I'd buy puts on VIX, okay, that kind of thing, for 2 days. You know, I stay short, but say buy puts on VIX, you know, for a 1 day deal. But it's not that, you know, 2020 was the cutoff. We broke through it. You know, we got down to 2080. You know, it's awfully quiet. You know, at what point did people freak out? 2040? I mean, you know, so 2020 is it for the technicians. We're saying, yes, that's down. Russell's down. You know, Russell's down. Did find the linear regression here. So what's that? 2084 and a half. There's 12. I can bring this one down. That'll work. Okay. Okay. All right. And let's see, the Dow was. Nasdaq. All right, Nasdaq, as you can see, it has more room to run down here. We talked about 46. I think that's what it was. 46 this morning. We broke 48, 46. I think that's what it was. 38 down to 38. I'll have to take a look at my notes here. Okay, so this is 4,800 is the resistance area. You can see money flow, poked its head through, couldn't hold it, and it came back through. So, you know, what I'm looking for is a hard short covering day. Buy your VIX related stuff, and the next day, buy your VIX related stuff again, and then it should roll over. Okay, because this is a time thing. This is a large topping pattern here. It's to me, it's in, I'm not interested at 2,200 or 2,400. You know, I would rather back off for the last 10%. You know, and plus we're not there. You know, it's futures. Put in 10, put in 100. You know, whatever. You know, you can move it here, move in and out with some decent size, or it's, you know, call options. You know, in the money call options. But for me, my bias is short on the equities. Let's see, go back to Natty Gas and let you guys go here. Okay, so Natty Gas, the 77 area. Okay, so that would be, if I'm long, that would be basically, we'll say the stop. Technically, put the stop underneath it. I prefer to do weeklies, so I'd have it a little bit deeper. You know, basically here the targets are shooting for up in here. This is December. That's why, you know, I wanted to move out to like January and stuff. F7. You know, so you get long, you know, you put your stop below. You can go as low as, see, now that's the other thing too. You know, I suppose, what's the stop here? 91. This is 4 cents below it, you know, compared to if it drops to 60, you know, so it's a toughie. It's one that, like I said, when I wrote a deep pockets type deal, you have to have some bucks in here if you want to stay in. You know, if you buy one at what was this, 90, if you buy one at 90, buy one at 80, buy one at 70, buy one at 60, that kind of thing. You know, you're going to have some staying power if you're going to lose a dime on each one. That's where the covered writing comes in. buy this and sell a call. I did that. I splashed one under the 290. I think that was for February. That'll work out though. So we'll watch those for now. It looks like Natty gas is a low. I talked about this gas thing. All right, this is the gas. All right, it's a thin one, 50 cents, but it's, you know, this is the index here. So it's not as much as it's 50 cents or whatever. It's that, you know, depending, you know, if you want to scale in, I wrote, you know, what is it, like 50 cents, 45, 40. Well, you can go 41, 46, 40, that kind of deal too, because of the bid-ask spread. But it's you know, it's an index. Let me go back to a weekly here. So, you know, this is coming off the high at a couple of bucks. We've come down to the low. I did read up about it that says if it gets to 20 cents, they close it down, I believe. Anything can happen. Some of these things are getting closed down. Some of them, you have outside risk like Deutsche Bank and stuff. So, you know, now we're going to get most of us don't remember the, you know, we had hedge funds that go bust. These derivatives aren't guaranteed kind of thing. So, you know, there's risk everywhere. You know, if I had to do the natural gas thing, I'd do the mini, which is QG, I believe, right? Yeah, natural gas mini. Okay, you can still see that there's a lot of bodies in here. Money flow on a weekly. Let's change it to daily here. Okay, money flows come out of it. So, I mean, you can get in. What's the margin on this? Trade by one margin. What do we have? That's $3 in commission on my end. Buying power, 650 bucks. They get your feet wet. I think it's 25 cents to the penny or ticked half of it, right? So it's 5,000. So yeah. So 25 on a half. Okay, so you can get your feet wet there. I'm playing a different game here. I'm playing, you know, I have to be able to, right, to manage something to scale, you know, 30 million, 60 million, you know, that kind of thing. So it's basically the same thing, but you have to be able to pull it off. You know, how many times can you know, run 400 contracts at a chunk through? That kind of thing. So I have to, you know, the whole scalability and stuff. That's how you end up having to, you know, end up in the equity department. But that's fine. You know, that's down the road. Obviously, it's, eventually I'll settle there. You know, maybe after the real estate boom, but goes bust and we go back into commodities. Since I used to be a registered, you know, broker and stuff. Buy in, close your eyes, and let it roll. Good for a decade. Might as well go out at the, you know, go out on it, huh? Somebody has to take over with these guys. All right, so here's the mini. Okay, so you know, if you want to play Natty gas, there's the mini contract, so it's not as you know, painful per se. For things like I said, you know, you have to have some staying power in here. Like I said, if this doesn't develop, you know, if I buy in and other people are buying in, you know, new people buy in and it doesn't develop, it could slide hard. You don't want to be the person that sells it at a, you know, 20 or 30 year low. We saw that with the British pound, right? You know, all of a sudden they start talking about, you know, 30-year low plus. It's like, okay, and what did you have? This was it. This was the one tick underneath it, or a few ticks underneath it, and it was a reversal. And so we went 122, 125. So when I was talking about 130s down here, it was a good distance away, right? But it came through to the party here. And we are seeing some pullback. The bulls have to hold at least 50% on this here. I'm playing it now with Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. I played the swing here from the open this morning. 4-hour charts, chart 15. Okay, so basically for me, it was the swing higher. Okay, because I had to, the pound had already moved. I needed to find something. The yen had come off. That, you know, then there's the pound and Swissy, that kind of thing too. Choosing your margin, but that's okay. You know, you get the swing. What was the other one here? It's New Zealand coming off. I think New Zealand too. And this is me, yeah. New Zealand's coming off. So I said, okay, if the pound's going to pull back, I want, you know, I need something on the flip side. So I actually buy into the pound on weakness and also get, I'm supporting it on the dip, but I'm also hedging my risk by playing another currency here. I need to take a look at this one here. I came home last night and before the Cubs actually won, I shorted up in here. All right, so and here, down here. Okay, so what if I get a bounce? So I'm looking at back to 33 and 42. So the 40s, into the 40s. If we get a bounce here, I'd be willing to look for shorts on here. But remember the big picture. This reminds me of a lot of hard short covering, kind of like this. This was the high. You know, maybe they'll try for 20. So it's just a round number. But you know, if what are we at here? 1996. You know, throw a lot out there. You know, hopefully your broker, the one I use right now, you can throw the order on there, but the money doesn't come out of the account. But I believe on Thinkorswim it does. All right, so you can have a resting order at 1996. We need an alert. Okay, all right, I'll leave you guys with that. And this was, let's take a look at the gold. How about this, Kev? Just run through them again real quick. Where am I? Where am I going? Demo. Okay. On the Jamaica page, Kev. Hey, do not. That's just what I need, right? Well, you're the navigator. You should know all this stuff. Oh, I don't want to be pushing buttons. That's what the pilot's for. I just need to know a few things. When we're taking off, when we're cruising, and when we're landing. That's it. Keep it simple here. Don't make me have to describe something. Why? Why is it up today? Well, if I tell you, you wouldn't believe me. Because we all knew what your counts were. Being the middleman. Oh, retailers came in today. I remember the first time I saw that. What was it? It was Futures World News or something. It came in on the CKG. And he said, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, how do they know this? And then I learned about Liquidity Data Bank, and that was part of the market profile. Okay. All right, come on, you. Oh, Kevin, have to close these blinds. All right. I think I changed the time on this. These might be intradays. Yeah, 4 hours. Okay. Yeah. So the Aussie dollar's pressed up here. Work it into your, you know, like long pound Aussie kind of thing. British pound, the swing on here, more than happy to take the profits. Looking for re-entries, just like I said, buy the pound, you know, short Aussie kind of thing. Canadian dollar, still looking for some sort of bounce in oil here, and the Canadian dollar to go with it. can't see too much more on the downside on here. I should set an alarm for reversal. I'll have to take a look at the commitment of traders report. Maybe we'll do that today. E, okay, maybe another swing higher up into here. I'd say 1180 would be in the short. Sounds like a familiar number. Come on. No, I need to come in a little early. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Wanted ding, you know, we're at the line here, but I'll give it a shot up here. 1180. What do we have? Any Elliott wave here? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-wave, 4-wave, 5-wave. Yeah. 1180 on the short side on the euro. Okay. And 6J. All right, 1 second here. Ooh. We all face the river here. The homes by, they all have to have a peek of the lake. We all, quote unquote, have lake view. Some of us have to stand on our roofs, but we have a lake view. Great sunset, everything. But the downside is we're on the side of a mountain, so we're all pointing in different directions with our windows, and I get the old sun. It's nice in the morning. I can't wait for the hummingbirds. Let's see here. This is a lot better. Wow, look at your eyes, Kev. All right, Japanese yen here. This goes higher, the pair goes lower. So even if you do the Elliott thing of 1, 2, and this is 3, 4, and one more is 5, look for to buy or to sell the yen on strength, which would be on 6J. You'd want to sell it on strength here, but you'd want to buy the U.S. Japanese yen. Where are we at? We need an alarm. That'll work. Okay, 57. What are we at? Here's 100. So we're back to this game again. Okay. So if you guys are still, okay, follow me on this one. I sent out the email and said that, 105.50 caution, blah, 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 for buying through. Okay, you have the first swoon. You have your pullback. These are 4-hour charts. This is stop and reverse dots, SAR. Okay. Okay. So the dots came down to here. This would be, I'd call it a pause. So your stop would be above here. It was nailed. Okay, now what I would do, okay, it's usually how I play the dots is here's the dot, here's, I would put a buy underneath like 102.50, but just splash on a single lot. Like I said, my broker, I can take, you don't have to do 1 million, 100,000, 10,000, 1,000 even, or less. You can buy as little as you want. Okay, so put in a percentage, like say, buy at 3%, and then put another one above here just in case it reverses. That gets you back in. Okay, because I do like the long side of this on a larger picture. This was the short from the 122 area, 124, whatever. This was news related. This was so awesome. And in the short, we got to we got less than 104. We were looking for 104. We got less than 104. Now we're looking to somewhat buy. This typical pattern here is a continuation lower. So the 105, if you're short, stay on it. Now what I do is, these are weekly bars. So use the high on. Oops, sorry, bugger. This is doing it automatically now. Kevin, did you read the updates on the software? Oh, it's only a paragraph, buddy. All right, so you'd have your stop here, okay. Now the difference here isn't much, but if you are short at 105.50 and we're a pretty good chunk away, move it in. Now what I would do here is have an alarm or something at 104, okay, on a bounce here. But I think, what's this? We're back down to hundreds, so anything under 102. Alert, Kevin. It's a common. And then this one here, we want to get in. Okay, that'll work. 41, that'll work. All right, so what I'm looking for here is to get alerted, and then what I do is I'd trail my stop that way. If you start busting through, there are going to be new bars. These, you know, you'd move it down. Okay, just trail your stop off the high. That's why I like the weeklies, because at some point, you know, here was one where people get stopped out. Okay, because you ended up with the dots here. Okay, that's usually what I do is if you get the dots, okay, usually you get some counter moves like the all-out wave, you know, like wave 2 and 4. Okay, so you get the dots. Okay, because I usually put something on the other end of it. So like it hit the dots here. You know, you'd look for in this area, which is 106.5. Okay. You know, so here's the high, here's the high, here's the high. We're trying to buy on the low end. You want to have some sort of reversal, okay? Because I think this is going to go higher. 106 to 108. We're at 108 here on the flip. So I want to trail something. Buy stop, buy stop. We're at the low here. Anything over 104. I'd have to say once again, if it clears 104. You'd end up reversing and going long, but it all depends upon that day. Alert, 87. Okay, all right. But what I'm looking for in this pattern is typically of a continuation lower, but it'll be quick. So have your stops behind it, because if it does swing, I'm going to say it's going to go to 108. Okay. Let's see, US Yepi, Mexican peso. If this goes up, it goes, the pair comes down. Money's flown into it, so the pair is coming down, but we've had a pretty good move overnight. I like the short side of this one. And I set an alert. Basically, you know, you're moving with the trend. Where you're gonna you know, sell a lot at the high here, sell a lot at the high here. There's an, you know, here's you know, you're still above pivots. You know, you're still swinging above pivots, so the trend is, you have room to run. So if you know, you can wait and get underneath it to short. You know, throw something on and then have a resting here, because that's usually how I go in. It's chunks. Rarely do I use all the money. You know, set. You know, you can have 20%. We're all trying to. What I'm trying to do is to hit something with leverage. You know, that's why I gravitate towards those 3 times ETNs, especially what they work with an underlying commodity, like you know, like natural gas has come down. So you look at there's cold and boil, and or KOLD, BOIL, and your gas. You know, then you have your underlines. So do you want to go in and buy a producer now? Well, dig through the internals. But Natty, you know, like I said, if Natty Gas doesn't develop this year, it could be dead money into the summer. You know, by July, Natty could be way boring, below, you know, above 180 and down below 340 in just a sideways range. And then that would bring premiums down on options, and I'd be interested down there. If I can pull some options off, you know, that way, instead of having to risk everything, or snag in some longs and then write some options, because I believe, you know, once we go over the old high on Natty Gas, it should continue to like 4, and then 468 is how I'm going to play it. Dollars up. I hope this isn't a measuring gap. Too many gaps. Okay. Yeah, follow this one up. But I'm going to like it on the short side of things. Here was the daily. How far up are we? Oh, we're at the median line. That's right here. That's a 74.46. So that's 100 higher. Okay, so that's $1,000. So you can have one resting up here too, and then an alarm or alert or something down below, because it's kind of like a logical stop. Here's the median line. It comes, you know, here's the high. Got a little bit short here, bounced up to the median line, and see how it plays out. You know, because if it comes up and fails here, you know, then I expect it to come down to 67. So that's 700 pips. So that's $7,000 on, oh, what's it say? Trade. Can I splash one on here? margin commissions $2,000 and you potentially to make 7,000, I'd be interested, right? So I just splashed one on there in the Fuddy Diddy account just to have it on the screen to watch it. Okay. Cocoa Pass looks like we've had it's susceptible to a short covering rally. Crude oil, here we are. We've had a hard, so what you want to do here is on crude at 45.74 I have, but we'll make it, come on, you know, we'll do it that way. You can do it anyway, Kev, 74.45, yeah, that'll work. Oh, that'll be, no. All right, that'll be a reversal. If this thing, because remember, the shallower the pullback, the more bullish, well, in this case, bearish, you know. So, you know, you have your hard swoon, short, come through, boom, short, boom. But it's one of these things that, you know, now we're talking about, okay, here's the median line, here's 42. Okay, so, you know, so it's, to me, it's like, if you're short, you have a couple of bucks here, but on the upper end now, it's more. You know, it's like I have $2 to the downside, but risk is $4 to the upside. That's why I'm risk adverse. You can come in and play somebody to stay short, and then here's your stop up in here. And this is the low end again, 36 to 38. Okay, so if it loses 42, it's 42. Big chunk of supply here. So they're going to probably press 42, but for me, it's like if you're short, stay short. For me, what I'm doing though is I'm looking for, you know, when you get down to here, you can bounce $1 or $2. You can come down and bounce $3, you know, that kind of thing. The volatility is going to pick up when it wants to change the trend. But what I'm looking for is something with that Canadian dollar. Just due to the fact that it's been going, you know, it's been going sideways. You know, so my risk, you know, is if it comes back underneath here. You know, I have a chunk of support levels because we're talking, you know, 74.60, 74.50. You know, we're talking, you know, 10, 20, 30 pips, or, you know, in theory, I guess I just have a reversal back in here. Alert. Oh, I already have one there. Okay, good job, Kev. You know, 74, 77, you know, reverse and go, have it go higher. And then now you're playing for more, possibly 100 pips on here. But it's one of these, like I said, I'm looking, you know, for the crude oil, you know, there's what did I say? We're at 40, we're in the 44s, 48 is, or 38, what's that? $6 and $8. I mean, that's still a decent move, but the risk to the downside. What I'm looking for is to see some sort of bounce. You know, we have the trend developing. It's all fine and dandy and stuff, but we're approaching areas where people would start lifting off their shorts. But I'm going to treat this also as that this is good for at least a decade. This low. That's how I'm treating it right now. And just assume that, you know, crude oil now is going to trade in I'll say 36 to 46 area. That's not far off from my last one, right? 37 to 47. Okay. That's how I'm treating crude oil. It's entering just a larger sideways pattern. Okay, here's our ES. We need to set an alarm here for reversal, 97. Take a look at the charts with Ben. There's paper selling. What do we have? Okay, we have a possibility here. See this with the money flow? We have a possibility here that this is turning into some sort of flag type deal. Gonna swing higher, 2, 6. Better than a sharp stick in the eye, right? Okay, alert. Okay, so on a swing higher, then these are the pivots, right? Bulls hold this, you know, all of a sudden the computer say, hey, you know, so that's why I'm talking about a late day rally. Something hard move. Here's gold. Okay, so we came down to here. There's still room to run on the money flow. We talked about, I think 13 and a quarter is the next one, 1340. Let me take a look at the daily since we had a lot of sideways. All right, this area, 1320. Okay, so 1320, 1340. So for this move here, the next level would be 1320. That was a nice pullout and money flow. Okay, so what did we have here? We had 12, we had 170. Okay, that was on the up move, and then this is a down move. But you can see how huge, you know, a lot of this is sideways here. I'd have to say that this is going to be a pause. Can it go to 1400? Sure, not a problem. You know, I think I talked about 14 and a quarter, right? Yeah, it's going to stall in here, 1340. All right, this is 1250. All right, yeah. I'm going to guess gold's going to stall in here. Between 1320 and 1340. A little alarm here for probably fresh shorts. Because it's going to mark a lot of time, I think. Taking too much time to develop, because you can just see how, you know, we're stuck in a sideways range. You know, this was the beginning of the year. We already ran to the upper end of the median line. I just pulled the first number and it was 1400 off of, you know, weekly S1 or R1 or R2. You know, so here I think it's going to swing up to here, and then 1250 would be the next target. So you'd short up in here. What's that? 13. Okay, so depending upon our close, listen for if it goes through 13 again, gold should go down to we'll say 1250 level. Okay, so that's 50 bucks. That's $5 grand. And how much is the margin? Margin is $6 grand. So $5 grand on $6 grand. That's a decent return. All right. Yes, marked at or above. All right, let's get the show on the road, you guys. Move it, move it, move it. Oh, that wasn't much. You got to get it through here, Kev. Yeah. It gets through 98, then we're down to the 106, 110 area. Looks like we can move this up from 2020. It's a line in the sand, but it's not where the bodies are, you know, the happy area. So you get it above 2020, the resistance would be 26. And that's probably where I'd go in and beat on it again, 2026. So take that. So we looked at your, let's take a look at the old Facebook here real quick. Facebook, all right. So here is a weekly money flow. You followed that with me for the last couple of weeks on the other charts. Move down to the linear regression, and here's the next level, 114, we'll say. And then all of a sudden the 106, then 75. This is in the 90s. I believe I posted a number in the 90s also. I think just coincided with this area here. I looked at the POC. The 118 was, you know, there was another number too I looked at. But then you're having other one. Like with here, this, if there's any pull, you know, upswing, you know, short cover and rally, I'd look to short on Facebook. Because what did we have? We had the NASDAQ go up, and it was very limited issues. This, Amazon, you know, Amazon 47, money flows coming off. This is a weekly. There's a daily. Okay, so Amazon, this is, you know, had a hard, you know, we could say shoulder area, had another shoulder area, you know, and all of a sudden we're talking 600 in Amazon. What happens if the whole holiday season doesn't generate? That kind of thing, right? I'm not a Prime subscriber just due to the fact of I'm at that age in my life. I get stuff, but not a lot of stuff, because it's I suppose, even though I hate it, the digital world and everything, you know, I do like, you know, I love oversized glossy magazines. Bring back the Life magazine. of like the 70s. Just please bring it. Your computer's fine, but there's nothing like, you know, an oversized magazine. It's just something of preference here. All right, so this is Amazon. So we did get some sort of bounce off of, whoops. Bounce off of, all right, we got a decent bounce here. I don't think it'll get to 815. Actually, if Amazon gets about 8.25, I'd be interested in shorts. All right. Oops, I did that wrong. Don't do that, Kevin. Yeah. Okay. There's a gap area. Because if you get a hard shirt covering rally, I mean, all of a sudden they'll go, oh, Amazon today was up $50, $60, $70, you know, that kind of thing. People are going to go, wow, that was it. Well, now they come in and buy up in here, and then all of us go, no, we want to see it lower. We've all walked through this before, so that's what I'm looking for, is a hard short covering rally where it convinces people that they have to get back in the following day and sell into it. Copper, there we go. What, 2250? Can I get a short off of one of these guys? Where are we at? Short copper. Okay. All right. I'll have to send some emails out. All right. So here's the same thing. Upper linear regression. You have the frothy money flow, and you have the resistance areas. And what was I going to look at it daily? See where we're at in the big picture. Okay, so we're above this high. We're taking, you know, like I said, we're taking out the stops. Maybe possibly taking out some more stops at 28, but this is just a starting point. Okay. In theory, of course, I should wait till it comes back through the other side, then it reverses, but we'll set an alert there. Actually, let's put it all the way up here. I'll get triggered, but that's fine. Okay, and the money flows up here again. You know, here was a peak, here was a peak, here was a peak, here was a peak. I got to believe that they're going to be talking about it, but we're not, you know, we're talking, this is 3 cents. Okay, so at 3 more cents, you're going to take out these stops. You're close to here, you know, it's that kind of thing. But once again, we talked about the bullies coming in and pushing, you know, pushing stuff around. So, you know, don't go bonkers. You know, I assume that everybody, you know, piecemeals their way in. Commissions are cheap. You know, if you want to buy 1,000, it's all up to you and your preference. You know, and also it depends upon your trading. If you want to buy 1,000 shares, you know, buy it, you know, 3 chunks lower, and then, you know, add to your winner on the upside. That still leaves you if one day it falls out of bed, whatever reason, and you get that one day opportunity kind of thing. Natty, okay, should be looking for something here in the NASDAQ. Like I said, the setup for short covering rally, 47.80 would be nice. What's this? 48. Okay, it's the lower end of the 70%. You know, they comes, you know, hey, you're over a week, 4 days down. You know, Thursday we come running back up here. Friday, then we just continue on, and things get precipitous. Don't forget about your ADX to show you if you're in a trend or not. Gasoline blowing up a major gas line. It cleaned out a lot of shorts, unfortunately, and came all the way back down. So it's telling you the obvious. Usually after a strong move like this, you end up going sideways for a while. Judging by the money flow, it made basically just kind of flop around for a little bit. Sugar, we cleaned out some of the longs. Like I said this morning, under 20 I'd be interested in, but the possibility of a C wave here. Okay, so oil's turning. Here's my Canadian dollar. All right, here's the silver. Same thing, 1920. I'd be interested. Yeah, I'd be interested in possible shorts. There's, like I said, there's money flow here, more room to run on the money flow, but it's one of these things that I took it down here, we got up to here. I'm more than happy with this, and move on to something else. You know, for the rest of you, if you are long, you know, put your stop here, comes up higher, then move your stop up. you know, and this is, I guess it's on a 4-hour chart, so you can just move your stop up for now. It's kind of like, here was the breakout. You know, actually what it was it paused on top of the breakout area, and then went higher. We came back a pretty good chunk here. And so far the bulls have held it, but if underneath here, you probably want to be on the short side. That's at 1812 on the short side of silver. You could have anything, head producers, hedgers, someone could go bust, you know, that kind of thing. So just, you know, always have stops in there. You know, if you're long, you know, let it ride. You know, if you're long one, you know, let it ride, and then have 2 shorts for here. So you end up, you know, if you're in on the breakout, you take the profit and you reverse on the short side. But just eyeballing this real quick here, it looks like we're going to at least attempt another try to the upside. But because of there's still more room on the money flow, anything could come in. Okay, this is Russell. Okay, a reversal here, 1165, and these things are going to be quick. Remember, so 1165 have resting. If you're short, you know, see how this stayed on the median line. Then we bounced up to the upper one. Usually when that happens in a downtrend, that's a precipitous drop, right? Boom, boom, boom. We're bouncing off the median line, paused here, and now we're trading down here. So the market is susceptible to a move above, we'll say 1164, 70, 80 kind of thing. It swing higher. So, you know, what it would be then is this would be your long, and then you put your stop underneath it here. Anything news could come out. U-bonds look like they're sideways. VIX, like I said, the puts. Gosh, do I want a short one here? We'll just splash it on the screen. I wouldn't recommend this because I'm actually looking for longs, but I'm just going to mark this here. Yeah, money flow still had a little bit more, but that's fine. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay, here's the Dow. All right. See, just like I was looking before for some sort of move up, what I was looking for was a move up to here, like off of this red line and a hard slide like we saw in the Russell. Or yes, it didn't happen. Now the Dow is basically just, yes, I'm not doing what I thought it would do was for a little more precipitous. Okay, so you have, here's the daily money flow. So you actually had the money, you know, here's the head and shoulders. Here's your high back in August. Okay, so you had head and shoulders, it broke, consolidated, broke, consolidated, broke. So consolidation, but we should experience here the next on the Dow. It broke below this, but we're not seeing the follow through. The bears need to have some follow through here in the Dow. I'll go through the Dow 30 stocks after this, and then bonds. Basically stuck in this channel here. 63. I wanted to see a little bit higher on this pullback on the equities. It's just not happening. We're marking a lot of time. See further weakness in corn here. Double top type pattern. 5 years. If it moves back up here, I'd be interested in shorting. But I should be careful though, because of the equities do slide hard like I'm looking for. We may all agree that then there's not going to be a hike in December, and then there's possibility of it getting all the way up here. So I have to be careful. I talked about that before, about how I got pinched when I used to trade ES on a 1 minute stochastics. The times I'd get pinched is when it would go from like R1 to R2 or R2 to R3. So that's, you know, it's kind of like when you hear R4 and S4, you know that those are rare, and that's usually, I usually do some sort of covered options, or because it's rare. You know, everybody wanted to sell or buy, did that day, so who's left tomorrow? Neil's a pretty good move, but it's susceptible to a bounce up here, $5. I like the short side though. No, it's basically a large sideways pattern. Yeah, I think looking at some of these here, I think we might slide or move up higher here. So be careful on the shorts. I guess you could wait for it to come back through. All right, 30 days. This is the odds of your Fed Fund futures. What do I want? I want technically I want June. There we go. So I think it's is it the end of June? There's a bond cycle. I can't remember if it's the highs or lows. All right, so we're getting a move here. So the marketplace is beginning to think up that the economy is going to be weak enough that there's not a hike in December, but we're still in November for now. I'm using June's. This is 30 days Fed Fund futures. So if this goes higher, then technically the front end interest rates are going lower. Okay. Soybeans bounced short it. That's what I would do. 2 years, see how they came above the previous high. So on notes and 5s and 2s, be careful. And wheat, it's not falling here. Money flow is pretty ripe. So I would say that wheat would try to, maybe a 1, 2, 3 pattern here. Lower, what's that, 28 to 98 is 30 cents. So 30 cents from here would be 88. So yeah, I'd say that wheat's going to probably work its way down to 88. Is that it? That's it. Y'all have a good afternoon on this Thursday, November 3rd, 2016. And I'll go over the Dow 30 and 3 times. And I'll just keep going. Today's Thursday. Yeah, keep going until voice goes. Have yourself a good one.